Okay, this is Paul says it's the third episode. I say it's the second because I was kicked to the curb rudely and I called Paul a jerk and he was quite offended. So I did rescind that for episode 2 because, well, first of all, this is the Island of Misfit Toys podcast.
Actually, it's the MaxSkyFan podcast.
No, and what is Carlito doing? He's drinking his traditional Keystone Light for breakfast at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and my Mountain Dew and a burrito from this great place. The person's name was Dulce. That's who helped me, which is sweets, candy. This is Burrito Express in Tempe, Arizona, right off the ASU campus. Hours are kind of bad. They only open at 7, but they're always busy. They always have a line.
They're only open at 7?
7 a.m., which you think like they'd be open earlier because they do breakfast burritos and stuff. Uh-oh. We got a gusher, just like pump up the volume. Paul, that's inappropriate for the podcast. Paul, we are going to have to edit the beginning of the podcast. So, Paul, when the listeners last left our fearless leaders, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
I guess so.
Yeah, well, half dozen on the other. Hey, are you coming to the barbecue on Sunday?
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's important to the podcast.
Yeah.
I kept mentioning it was coming. And you keep asking me over and over again. It's like the hospital where they keep asking me, do you see things that aren't there? Do you see things that aren't there? Do you see things that...
Why are you saying that with the praying hands? Like, are you praying that you see things that aren't there?
Like they want me to see things that aren't there.
This Keystone Light has been in my car since 2 a.m. It's actually not that bad.
Yes, I don't see things that aren't there. Of course, I see... There's something called solipsism. Do you know what solipsism is? Solipsism?
Calypso is a music style.
Solipsism. I do not know. Solipsism. So that's the idea that you believe something. I got this from my dad. My dad, he knows so much. He knows so much stuff. He actually knows so much stuff that he has a blind spot because he thinks he knows everything. So he's a classic God complex. He's a doctor, so doctors they have to study so long and so hard. And everyone else is out partying. So while they're out partying, they're studying. And now they've developed what's known as a God complex. They just believe that they have the power of God, and they can believe. My dad says, Paul, were you doing that? And I said, yeah, I was doing that. And he goes, well, I didn't see you do that. And I said, well, you're a God. You didn't see me do it, so you must have. So if you didn't see it, it didn't happen. It's like the bear did a crap in the woods. You didn't see it do a crap in the woods. I guess the bear didn't do a crap in the woods. I guess it's real logic. You didn't hear the tree fall. So if you didn't hear the tree fall, it didn't fall. Well, I don't. That doesn't make any sense. Does it? Does it make any sense? No. People have what they have is bad programming in their head. Bad programming. They're fighting me.
But can't the case be made though? If we didn't see it, it didn't happen. Like you and I mean, we're I'm just big thoughts here. I was not around for the moon landing. That was about 20 years before I was born. 30 years before I was born.
I didn't see Jesus Christ be born, but saying Jesus Christ, it wasn't born. In fact, I have a book that I'm gonna turn into these cards. There's this game. It's called the Ungame. And I was in the hospital, and
oh yeah, you were telling me about that, yeah.
And they had this game. It was a game that you use. You don't use any pieces. What you do is you use you put all the pieces. You have all the pieces you have in front of you. You put candy, and then every time you get something right, you get a piece of candy, and
So it's like a piñata, but you just have to wait for it.
So it's like each little box has a candy. So every answer you get right, you get a piece of candy. So I was going to turn it into a game where it has like the Ungame. The Ungame was a game that it was an icebreaker type game. It was basically you just get to know your family very well. So you ask questions about your family, and the person who
why wouldn't you want to do it like as an icebreaker, like at a convention, because you already know your family.
I know. So yeah, but there's some questions you don't know about your family. Like what is their fear? You might live with people, but you might not know them. In fact, with there's just so much.
So is that like my family doesn't know about me that I have a panty fetish?
Yeah, you might not know about panty fetish.
So when I have one, and my family doesn't know
You
that.
don't know. You may not know that.
So maybe they should. Maybe they should know that I have a panty fetish.
One question I have in my game is like they say you do to the right to the left. So you go, okay. So the person to the right of you, what is their favorite book? So you must you play that card. You play the card down. You go. And he goes. I think Carlito's favorite book is Debbie Does Dallas or something.
Yeah,
And then
sad but true.
and then it goes right. But what happens if I play that card a couple weeks from now, and Carlito he actually reads decent books, and he says War and Peace, and he goes, oh no, Debbie Did Dallas, that was 2 weeks ago. Now it's War and Peace, and I go, oh, War and Peace, really? He goes, I guess they didn't know that about Carlito, so now I didn't win. So the idea of the game is to be the most knowledgeable and the most understanding of all the players. So the biggest. If you in the group, and you the group are the most knowledgeable person, the most understanding person, the most empathetic. There's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Do you know the difference between empathy and sympathy, Carlito?
One starts with an S and one starts with an E.
That's good, but not good enough.
Apparently, I don't know the difference.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, I love this taco place. The only bad thing is they only give you 2 salsas. And I like a lot of salsa.
Do you want to see if I can find some salsa for you?
I'll look in a second. But tell me the difference between empathy and sympathy, please. That's what we're on.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on topic here, big man.
Empathy is the deep one. That's the one where you get to that's where they say walking in someone's moccasins for 1,000 miles. You have to walk in someone's moccasins for 1,000 miles.
When you wear out the moccasins, though, would you need that's like a second pair?
Well, I think I'm using what they know as
Hyperbole?
Hyperbole, yes, hyperbole. Yes, thank you.
Is that yeah? Well, maybe, I don't know.
I can say 1 billion miles or 1 trillion miles. I mean,
there's a good song. I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to see you.
You want to play that song?
No, we do not. We don't have time. Okay, so we got to go back though. A couple weeks ago. Right. So you still were going to tell us about your hospital stuff. Do you want to talk about that?
The hospital stay? Okay, yeah. Now to talk about the door ajar. The door ajar.
Well, not that part. We all know about that part.
Okay.
I think you did a one-man comedy show off Broadway about the door ajar. That's how important it was.
The door ajar. Yes, the door ajar. Don't leave. If you ever go in my room and you come and check on me, don't you leave the door ajar and start giggling outside my room after you leave the door ajar. That upsets me.
I have a question. You're allowed to shut your doors? Because a lot of times they don't want you to do that in those kind of places.
No, the door can be shut. The door was shut to begin with. They opened the door. They went through the door. They left the door. And they left the door ajar. And then the nurse's station right outside the door, so I could hear them outside the nurse's station chatting.
But okay, so let's back up again. Would you like to tell us why you were in there? Like what?
I was in there because I am bipolar 1. Not bipolar 2, not like 2, like TWOO. 2, like the number 2. 2. So I'm not bipolar 2, number 2, bipolar 1. Now you think bipolar 1 is less severe because it starts with 1. But you have to think about diabetes. Like what would you rather have, diabetes 1 or diabetes 2?
Neither. I would rather have neither diabetes.
Well,
is there a third option?
I had diabetes and diabetes.
Oh, I forgot you do.
Diabetes and diabetes 2 is better than diabetes 1. Diabetes 1, you have to have insulin. Insulin shots. Okay. But diabetes 2, you can take what I take metformin, or take you can take what is that drug for weight loss? They take the
cocaine.
No,
in the 80s you took that for weight loss.
No, the one they
did.
The
Ozempic.
I'm
just telling you, that's a fact.
They always take Ozempic.
Can I tell you a quick factoid?
What?
There's a stat that in the 80s it was like 90% of $20 bills had cocaine residue on them.
Isn't that true today? No.
I think cocaine's kind of, I don't know.
They have fentanyl on them?
No, you wouldn't. You probably smoke fentanyl. You don't snort it. I guess you'd snort it. But okay.
Can you burn dollar bills and get high off the fentanyl?
You know, it's illegal in the United States of America to destroy U.S. money. It's illegal
I thought you could do that.
It's illegal to destroy.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
That's not true. People make artwork out of money.
It doesn't mean it's not illegal.
I think that you could do it. I think you're.
Paul, you
you're
can
wrong.
do it. I'm just saying it's illegal.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
We're not like your brother-in-law where he likes his cigars with $100 bills because he's rolling so high.
I think you're wrong. I think if you have like four corners of a dollar bill and you send it into the government,
they destroy it.
They'll give you a dollar bill back.
But they destroy it. They don't just
They'll destroy the little bits and pieces of the dollar bill, but they'll give you they'll say it's constituted as a dollar, and they'll give you back to the dollar.
Well, you don't even have to do that. You go to the bank and you give it to the bank, and they give you $1, and then the bank sends it in, and then they destroy it. Excuse me.
Yeah, I never done either. So I mean, I just heard these things. I just read about things. It's like sort of like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins when he says he's never had a beer. And he says the part where he talks about all the stuff he knows because he was just a smart guy and lived on an island, and Danny DeVito was just a scumbucket that.
Still hard to believe they're related in real life.
They weren't identical twins.
IRL. You know what IRL stands for?
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know some things. I've been around for a while.
So speaking of being around, what did you learn? What was the biggest takeaway from the hospital that you learned?
I learned that AI could do their better job than them. We need the AI to take over.
No, you told me you asked AI questions and it couldn't answer it.
What questions? What questions?
You were asking. What did you tell me? It's been like a month and a half. But anyways, did you learn you kind of need to breathe, need to relax?
No, I learned the secret of
NIM.
The secret of NIM is the secret of NIM, which is the greatest shout out to Secret of NIM, the greatest movie ever made. Secret of NIM. Just look it up. Look it up. It's a good movie.
What does it have to deal with? Like, tell the audience who may not know.
It has that quote in the movie. The quote in the movie is, "It's like you can lock any door if you only have the key." That's
pretty profound. That's pretty profound. That's pretty profound, Paul.
Now, what is the key? Also, you must want to know. I believe that life is a game. Now, why do you believe that life is a game?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I
used to have a friend that had a shirt that said "Life is a beach."
Like your shirt that says "Make love, not war."
Yeah, make love, not war.
Your shirt says "Make food, not war."
Make food, not war. Yes.
I don't know, Paul. I think the older I get, and you appreciate this, you're about 30 years older than I am. I think the older I get, I no longer know the meaning of life, and I think I should sometimes keep searching and sometimes not, because there are people far smarter than me, like Einstein, like the dude in the wheelchair, that dude
Hawkins.
Yeah, Stephen. Wasn't your brother named after Hawkins?
Who? Stephen? Who's talking?
Your brother.
Stephen was not named after Hawkins.
No, but my point is that there's stuff I just don't know if we'll ever know.
Well, I know.
No?
Tell me something I don't know.
Do I have to pay you for that knowledge? Does it like...
No, I get it freely. No one wants to listen.
When are you going to make me a poem?
What poem you want to make? I can make one right now.
No, we're working.
I can come up with a poem. I can come up with a poem.
I tell you, there's not much better things in 2024 than a warm Keystone Light, a 20-ounce Mountain Dew, and a breakfast burrito. It's about heaven.
Okay, well, I'll record that and I'll come up with a poem about those things.
About the three things?
Yeah, those three things.
So then, you are coming to the barbecue. You have RSVP. Are you?
How many times
Well, I'm asking. I'm asking if you're going to bring a +1. I need to know. We got to buy food.
I don't have it.
Auto Fleck. We haven't mentioned Auto Fleck yet this podcast. We're how many minutes into this podcast? It's like a record.
I thought you were going to. Is that always on my mind? What are you talking about?
No, I'm asking. Like that song, baby.
I'm my romantic partner.
Quite as well as I should.
He's not my romantic partner. He's a platonic friend.
I don't even know what platonic means. Is it like the nuclear something? Is that nuclear?
You don't know what platonic means?
Sounds like platonic.
You don't know what platonic means?
I know what it means. No, but so you're going to bring a +1 or no?
There was a show that used it all the time. It was before your time, probably.
I am 20 years younger than you.
The Sterling show. It was on Showtime before Bill Maher.
It wasn't Skinamax?
No, it was.
See, the thing about you, Paul, is you grew up with all the cool stuff. I, on the other hand, had to like make sock puppets and shadow puppets to entertain myself.
What?
Hold on, what I'm saying is you had Skinamax.
Wait a second. Skinamax. Skinamax was so great. What are we talking about?
For those of you who had it, it wasn't so great. For us peons that didn't have it, it was amazing.
You have the Pornhub. What do you want? What do you want?
Pornhub in the 80s, the 90s? There's no Pornhub.
What do you want to Skinamax?
You needed Skinamax. You didn't have the Pornhub in the 80s and 90s. But I'm saying you grew up with that. We didn't like my father was very strict. He still is very strict with me, at least. His granddaughter, he lets her do whatever she wants. But my sister's in the Dominican Republic right now, and her daughter Hillary with two eyes is there, and my brother-in-law, and they went and swam. Hillary went and swam with the dolphins with my dad. But my point is that for every hour I read growing up, I could watch an hour of TV. If I got good grades, my dad would get cable. If I didn't get good grades, he would cancel the cable. I've talked to your sister about this ad nauseum, about how the difference in raising. And so I was never allowed to watch Ghostbusters. I couldn't watch Gremlins because it was too scary. But Becky's like, yeah, I was like 6, and we were watching like the slasher movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She said that was very free here. There was not much regulation like at Scott's house. Scott was very regulated. I've never eaten a Pop-Tart. It was very regulated. And Becky says you guys grew up with all the cool things like Skinamax and the pinball machines.
Skinamax. We didn't have the pinball machine for a long time. We didn't have the pinball machine for a long time.
When did you get the pinball machines?
You know what game I would like? I liked it was called Assault. You heard of the Assault game? It's like a little cabinet.
I think that's actually game. Assaults against the law, especially
Assault,
when you play the game.
It's about you played this. You were this tank, and you had these. It had these two controllers. You controlled it. It had two joysticks, and you push the joysticks, push both forward.
Was it for Atari, or what was it for?
No, it was an arcade game.
Oh, okay.
You push two sticks forward, and the tank could go forward. You push two back to go back. You push them one forward, one back, one. You turn, and then you push it. You push one to the right, and one to the left,
and it would explode.
Then it would sit backwards, and the tank would go upward. The nozzle, the barrel of the tank would go up. Then you could shoot super far away. So you can shoot objects that were way off the map.
So was this the game that you would have been playing? For those of you that should have listened but didn't to episode 1, at that arcade with the pizza, that arcade place with the pizza, is that kind of the game that would have?
They didn't have that game there. They didn't have that game. They had Time Pilot. There's two different versions of Time Pilot. The Time Pilot, regular Time Pilot, and then they had the Type Pilot. It was the futuristic Time Pilot.
Did you ever get into Tron, or were you never a Tron fan?
Oh yeah, I played Tron.
No, the movie, the original, from the 80s.
Watch the movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have the Tron. I have it on DVD.
That's a DVD that Becky hasn't stolen yet.
It's in my own. It's my personal collection in my room.
It's in your personal reserve. Next to that porn wing that you have that you've been expanding on.
No, I don't keep any porn. I don't have any porn connections in my room.
Yeah, well, you're not living life to the fullest.
No, I removed all the porn off my hard drives.
So, do you have any traditions for St. Patrick's Day? You being Irish or Italian, do you guys Italians celebrate St. Patrick's Day, or is it a perverted, bastardized?
We have my mom decorates for St. Patrick's Day since my sister's birthday falls on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, do you typically drink green non-alcoholic beer? You know, some people drink green beer. Do you eat? Well, do you make a big pot of?
I take
corned beef and ham.
I take it as a liberty since I stopped drinking alcohol a while back, but now I decided I'm gonna go drink some alcohol. So I'm gonna drink some alcohol.
No, I said non-alcoholic. You have a.
No, but I said I'm gonna drink some little alcohol.
But you guys don't do corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and.
Well, there's this. I was at this soup place. We were here in Phoenix area. There's a soup place here in. It's a 40th Street in Bell, It's called
So it's north of here, correct?
it's
Northwest.
north of where I am right now. I'm in Paradise Valley, so yes, it's
I don't know where I'm at then. If you're in Paradise Valley,
you're here in Paradise Valley with me.
well, you didn't say that.
Yeah, we're in Paradise Valley. We're in Paradise Valley, the Beverly Hills of Arizona. Yes, the Beverly Hills. We're living it up. Living it up in Paradise Valley. Yes, and that's what my mom got. I got upset with my mom, and if you
Well, wait, talk to me about this soup place. You're about to say the soup
the
place.
soup place. Oh yes, it has a soup and it has sausages. It's sausage and soup bistro.
Is it like a gumbo? Because gumbo traditionally has like rice, sausage,
No, it's
shrimp.
soup. They have soup and sausage. So you get sausage and you get soup. So they have soup. They have
So would you call it a sausage fest?
they have soup and sausage. So you can get sausage and you have soup. I think they have soup with sausage in it. So they have their soups from the guy that was Ukraine. He was from Ukraine. So shout out to Ukraine. Russia shouldn't invade and kill all those people. That's wrong. That's against world peace. I'm for world peace. You should just use your words. You shouldn't use your words. You shouldn't use sticks and stones. Even though words are more harmful than sticks and
Sometimes,
stones,
yes.
they can be. But sticks and stones still hurt because ask anyone who's a woman in the Middle East and she's
Or Christian from the
well
2,000 years ago.
especially a woman now. She's they say she committed adultery or something, and then they stone her to death. Yeah, sticks, stones do hurt. I'm not saying stones don't hurt, but I'm saying words hurt too. But the sticks and stones hurt my bones, and words don't hurt. That's not true. That's one of the biggest lies ever told. So, but that's a first world problem because third world problems are stones will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's that.
Here in Paradise Valley, the only stones they do is when they get stoned. All these housewives are.
I don't know how many housewives. I don't know housewives.
Wine with Paxil, Parrot Bay and Paxil, and
how many housewives? How many housewives are stoned? I don't know.
Oh, there's a ton.
You think so?
Oh, I know some.
How you physically know so?
Yeah.
You ran into them
At the Costco, at the Trader Joe's.
I haven't seen anyone.
They flirt with me.
They flirt with you.
I've got a dad bod, and they're jealous of my dad bod, and my sunglasses as well.
I think you have like a
My imagination's running wild.
delusion. Delusional thinking.
You never been to Costco with me? I'm a ladies' man at Costco.
Ladies
The issue is I go with Becky, so I can't be too much of a ladies' man.
Okay.
Becky and I are like Jerry Seinfeld and Elaine Bennis because, women are like, "Oh, you're cute." I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You're with your girlfriend." I'm like, "Well, no, it's my friend who happens to be a girl." Like Elaine Bennis is.
Okay.
But some women feel intimidated by that, Paul, because of my dashing good looks.
Okay. Well, don't let it go to your head.
No, never.
Oh.
We're very humble here on this podcast.
That reminds me that I had an idea that I had the Beverly Hills and being like the Beverly Hills, Paradise Valley is Beverly Hills, Arizona. But I said to my mom, I said, hey, maybe I'll write a script because I did read the book, just save the cat. It's basically about script writing. So yeah, so I read that book cover to cover, so I'm pretty familiar with how to write a script. Actually, I wrote a script for a movie. It's called The Traveling King, but I realized the movie's going to cost over $300 million to make, so I figured I better turn it into a book because no one's going to. The chances of me turning into a movie are pretty slim. Plus, they probably won't do it as faithfully as I want. So there's that. So I was thinking of turning it into another movie. I was going to take down those cards and put down some new cards and have Beverly Hills, and instead of the Beverly Hills Cop, have like sort of derivative, but
One of the greatest movies ever.
So yeah, it's a little derivative, I guess, but instead of Beverly Hills Cop, have PV Cop.
Yeah, you're telling me that as I was drifting off to sleep the other night. I didn't quite understand.
Yeah, PV Cop. So it'd be PV Cop, Paradise Valley Cop, PV Cop, PV Cop. So I was gonna have who would I get to play the part of Eddie Murphy? Or not, it's not Eddie Murphy. It's
Eddie Murphy.
Is Eddie Murphy?
Huh.
Yeah, thinking Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy are the same guy.
That's not.
No,
We're,
no,
Eddie
Murphy. No, Eddie Murphy.
don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Okay, Eddie Murphy. Wait, because it's racist.
I didn't say anything. I'm just here enjoying my Mountain Dew and
Okay, well,
mixed with my Keystone Light. I'm trying not to fall asleep.
I'm trying to think of the names. I'm thinking names. All the names.
I got a Red Bull last week.
All these names in my head are getting mixed up.
Forrest Whitaker, he's black. Might as well throw him in there. Morgan Freeman,
because
Denzel Washington.
It's not because it's not because of that. Because his names, I get the name in my head. I was trying to draw the name and the face together. Because I'm using my mind is I'm using the
fastest computer in the world.
I'm using these tricks, these memory tricks to try to remember things.
Because why is that?
Because
you have short-term memory.
I have short-term memory problems. So yeah, so I try.
Is that because of all the acid you took in the 70s, or why is that?
No, I think it's a genetic thing. Because my dad says the best way to stay happy is a short memory. So he is. So I think the thing is to get some things into your long-term memory. It takes a lot. Of work.
I read that in the bathroom of a glory hole bathroom in West Seattle once.
Glory hole? What's that?
You don't know what a glory hole is? You have to look it up. I'm not going to discuss it.
Glory hole? Is a glory hole in a bathroom?
Yeah, it's typically in men's bathrooms and gay bars.
I thought a glory hole is some physical as a physical thing in a body part. How is it in a bathroom?
Louis, you're not invited to this podcast. We're going to introduce Louis, one of the youngest members of the clan.
I said, hey,
Louis, back off, Jack.
I bet I'll get Eddie Murphy. I said Eddie Murphy to be instead of Eddie Murphy. I know the perfect person to play the part. And he sort of got some. His skin's sort of like the same color.
I can't believe you had to say this. I can't even believe you had to say
Carlito. Hey, Carlito with his sunglasses, and he's always wears.
And my Ferrari that I drive, like he drives, or my jalopy. I think he drives the other guy drives a Ferrari. He does, but then he drives the not a Nova.
I said, where would he come from? He comes from the hard
Detroit.
He doesn't come from Detroit.
Yes, he does.
What?
I'll bet you $1 million Eddie Murphy comes from Detroit in the movie.
No, saying Carlito doesn't come from Detroit. Carlito comes from L.A.
Tijuana.
He comes from L.A.
No, Tijuana.
No, he comes from L.A.
East L.A.
East L.A.
Or Tijuana.
He comes from East L.A.
Tijuana.
East L.A. What is East L.A.? What is East L.A. like?
It's like Tijuana. It's like Tijuana.
Okay, he comes from East L.A.
Have you ever seen any traditional Mexican dance?
Okay, let's continue the pushing forward.
Louis,
anyway,
this is inappropriate. Louis, you're not invited to the podcast.
He comes from East LA, and he's speaking a lot of Spanish, and he's like using.
Do you have any dog treats for Louis?
No. So anyway, he's speaking a lot. He's very Latino. He's very hard knocks kind of guy. And he comes to
so no silver spoons in his mouth.
So he's no silver spoons in his mouth, and he's like
great TV show, by the way.
He comes over, and he's like, and he's why would he come over now? Did his friend leave?
He asked for his papers in East LA, and he had no papers, so he had to come west.
Why did he come? Is it the same reason? His friend, he's investigating his friend that died. Is he doing the same thing?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, maybe he has a line on a new type of. I don't know. Yeah,
I know. Maybe he had a friend that died from fentanyl, and he's trying to figure out where the fentanyl came from. So that's what he does. He's going. His friend has died from fentanyl.
Play that ball with him.
And then who's the head guy? The chief. Who's the head guy in the police department?
Well, I don't know, but the actor is Judd Nelson, and I just looked at the other dude. Yeah, because Judd Nelson's in Fast Times at Ridge Mountain High with Forrest Whitaker.
No. Who's that guy in the police force? The chief, the commissioner, the captain. Okay, the captain. Or the captain says, "Hey, no, the drug. This is probably a street drug," and you go, "No. I know this drug came from Paradise Valley." And he goes, "Why would they why would they get the drugs from Paradise Valley?
Why are they making it in Paradise?
Why would they have it in Paradise Valley?" And he goes, "I think it is from Paradise Valley." And he says, "Well, I have convention time coming up. I'm going to take my vacation." He goes, "Okay, you better not go to Paradise Valley." And you go, "Okay, I won't go to Paradise Valley." Then you drive to Paradise Valley.
Actually, I can fly technically.
No, but you drive there. So you're driving there.
What did you have for breakfast? Just did you do more oatmeal? We haven't had a sponsor yet this week.
I had
Eggs Benedict.
I had I had. Let's get out of the garbage.
Get out of the You ate out of the garbage. You made fun of me for eating out of the garbage this 2 weeks ago.
I didn't eat out of the garbage. Here.
You said I had you went into the garbage.
Here we go. This is what I had for breakfast.
Oh no, Paul, that's it's inappropriate.
I had Cassie Shack rice pudding.
Oh, it's just so nasty.
It's gluten free and 22 ounces, 623 grams. It's Cassie Shack. We believe that simple ingredients make for better tasting pudding and desserts.
But you're a big you like this stuff, right? Like you like
1967, our recipes would use the same wholesome quality ingredients that you would use in your own kitchen. Same ingredients, delicious pudding. Oh wow. Hey, did you edit? I think you edited out last podcast about me eating in the garbage. No, I didn't edit everything out. So are you? But why does your family? About Laura. Why does your family like the pudding so much? Like you guys like rice pudding and tapioca. Like Becky loves tapioca. I don't like tapioca that much. It's all nasty. I like rice pudding. It's all nasty. I like rice pudding. No. Like I said, my dad forbade me from having any sweets. So anyway, my mom said, I was talking to my mom about this earlier with Carlito. He says, Carlito can't be in a movie. He doesn't know how to act. Oh, I'm actually a good actor. I was in plays like your nieces and nephews. I said, oh no, what are you saying? Carlito can't be in a good movie? You're saying I can't be in a movie? And he said, Paul, you don't know how to act. And he says, I can act. He says, you think I can be a better actor than Leonardo DiCaprio? And then Mama goes, what? He's been an actor since a little boy. He goes, well, no. Yeah. What's eating Gilbert Grape? I could be better actor than Leonardo DiCaprio, right? You think I can't be a better actor than Leonardo DiCaprio? And he says, what? What are you trying to say, Paul? And he says, you think I can't be a better writer than Shakespeare? He says, you can't be a better writer than Shakespeare. What, you put me in a box? Trying to put me in a box? Are you trying to put me in a box? Hey, speaking of Shakespeare, why do you have your Livestrong? Those were out like 20 years ago. Your Livestrong bracelets. What bracelets? They're these Livestrong from like Nike from 25 years ago. Livestrong. I have it. I have a video on my MaxSkyFan YouTube page. No, that's what I'm asking. Why do you have those? Those were like, those were pushed by Nike for cancer research with Lance Armstrong. Then they found out Lance Armstrong was doping. El Dope, what they said to him on the Tour de France. El Dope. Then he was married. He was dating. I was trying to explain how I could be a better actor than Leonardo DiCaprio. You're talking about the cancer things. Because they're dated. That'd be like if you were wearing dated Asuka in a tunic from the 30s. Cancer's never dated, is it? I had cancer. I'm a cancer survivor. I know. I had cancer twice 2 times. Kidney cancer and... I thought you had brain. Wasn't it brain cancer? No, I didn't have brain cancer. Are you sure? No. I think Becky told me it was brain cancer. No, I never had brain cancer. I think Becky told me you did. It was a non-cancerous brain tumor, but it's not... Oh, so you did have a tumor, though. It was a tumor. It was the size of a grapefruit. It was the size of a grapefruit. Was a doctor like, in kindergarten cop, not a tumor? Did he say not a tumor? No, it was a tumor. It was the size of a grapefruit. How'd they get it out? I don't know. I didn't perform the operation. No, but I'm saying you don't have any missing pieces of your skull. Well, I don't know how they got it out, but they got it out. And they this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. They loaded me up with so much steroids. They did steroids with your brain swells that I freaked out. So you look like an alien? What? You look like an alien because your brain swelled? aliens have big heads. No, they like swell. No, the steroids stopped the brain from swelling. The brain swelled, not the skull. The brain. Oh. The brain. The brain inside the skull. Do you have to do basic anatomy for you, Carlito? As long as it's not on my body, yes. It's the brain. The brain. The hard thing is the skull. Okay, the brain is inside the skull. So did they shrink it with radiation? And they did with it? No, they used steroids. No, I know, but to kill the tumor. They didn't kill it. They cut it out. But you don't have any. But I'm saying, Paul, you don't have a scar. Most people who've had. Well, I had a surgery. They did surgery before. Look, you feel the bump here right here. I don't know if I want to feel your head. I'll just take your word on it. Just feel right to the bump. I'm feeling it. It feels like a pimple, actually. It's the bump. No, you're not feeling it. You're not feeling it. Well, I don't know if that's appropriate on this podcast. Come on. Look, you feel like touch it. No, you touch it. Come on. I'm not touching yours. Your circumcision scar. It's not a circumcision. Hey, you want to hear a story about me? I wasn't circumcised as a baby. Okay,
because of El Salvador.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
Well, you don't have to see it. It's on the internet. It's on Pornhub.
I don't want to see it on Pornhub either.
No, but so listen. So I was growing up in Iowa and overseas. Everyone was circumcised. So I was like, why? I thought I would. As a kid, you don't want to be different. You know what I mean? You don't want to be different.
Well, how do you even know? You can walk around without underwear?
No, I was a swimmer.
Pants?
I was a swimmer, so we changed in the locker room. But I swim.
People examine your genitals in the locker room.
My long duck dog. No, I'm saying that. Okay, in gym class we had to.
People examine your John and Zing chest.
Gym.
What? What they don't
Let
examine?
me finish my story.
They respect your privacy. I don't understand.
Can I finish my story? You interrupted my story. It's very heartfelt. So growing up, I was a swimmer, and we'd always have to wear Speedos and change in front of each other. And then in junior high, we'd have to change in front of each other again. And everybody else was different than mine, and so I felt embarrassed, and I felt shameful. And so when I was living in Saudi Arabia for the second time, my cousin Luis, he's gay. He and his husband live in San Francisco. They have a puggle. So listen to this gay cliche, and I shouldn't say this, but they're gay. They live in San Francisco. They drive a Prius and they have a puggle. Like that's the Yahtzee of like.
What's a puggle?
You don't know what a puggle is?
Is that a puddle?
No, a puddle's something you jump over. A puggle is a beagle and a pug mix.
How am I supposed to know what a puggle is?
I forgot you don't like dogs. Paul actually hates dogs, but we're not going to let the
hate dogs.
We're not going to let the ASPCA know that fact.
I like dogs a lot, like Obama. They taste very good.
Killing me. Anyways, Obama had my story.
Obama had dogs. He had dogs. He ate dog. It's in his book. Check it out. He ate dogs.
He was in China.
He was 8 dogs.
He has Bo.
He had Bo. And he tasted very good. It's like the joke. He says,
"Can I finish my circumcision story? This is very heartfelt." For a lot of years, this guy's been trying to go
looking for his dog, and he says, goes to the Korean people. He goes, "Did you see my dog?" And
you can't say the story.
Then they says, "Your dog have a nice juicy hind leg."
Paul, you can't. This podcast is never going to make the final cut.
Wait,
that's
an old joke. That's not even my joke.
It doesn't matter. It's an old joke could still be an inappropriate joke.
Is the Seinfeld jokes inappropriate? The Nazi jokes from the Nazi soup Nazi? Is that? I was gonna name my store the Soup Nazi, but I changed the name because people got offensive like you because they watched
super offended.
So I'm gonna call it Super Festivus.
Can I finish my circumcision story? This is a lot of trauma.
Okay,
a lot of therapy. So Luis, who's gay, lives with his husband. They have a pug. They drive a Prius in San Francisco. A very gay cliche. Because So anyways, and Luis played like on a gay flag football team. And he's taller than me, and we're from the same kind of area in El Salvador. So it's dark. You can't see it. You got to tap it to see. Don't stop the recording though. So we're at 38 minutes. We're getting close to being done. I don't have to put up here for another 12 minutes, 22 minutes. So Luis had a circumcision like in 6th grade. And I went and visited him at the hospital, and he was in so much pain. So much pain. It was unbearable pain.
You're supposed to have the circumcision when you're a baby, so you can't express your pain.
I know this stuff now, and first of all, I couldn't go back and shrink myself to a baby. I couldn't Benjamin Button
Isn't there a
Geneva Convention, but you have to.
Isn't there a Bible story about
a parable, a parabola?
Yeah, the Bible story. They had these men that they were supposed to be circumcised, and then they get circumcised, and then everyone was in pain of circumcision, so they couldn't fight, and they were all killed off. I think I learned that story. I didn't read the story. You know how I found that out?
At church last week, you learned that story. That was what the sermon was about.
I found that story out. You know who told me that story? A Terminator told me that story, and Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Well, I thought it was at church last week.
No, it was Sarah Connor. Which is shout out, a very good TV show, even better than the movies. The first 2 movies, even better.
Hold on. We got to talk about when we're interrupting my story for a minute. How many weeks now have you been to church consecutively?
Been to 4 times.
4 weeks?
4 weeks.
Is that what you've been for a month?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do the whole holy water?
No, he used the holy water.
You know, you're supposed to bathe in it and maybe drink it too.
No, I think
It's like in that Last Crusade where you drink it and you have endless life.
that's sacrilegious. I think
No, I don't think it is. I think you're supposed to drink it.
you're not supposed to drink holy water.
I think you are. That's what the dude in Crusade did, and look at him. He lived forever.
No, you added
Sean Connery.
No. I'm
He
sorry.
drank it out of, and he lived forever.
Is that why?
Can I finish the circumstory?
Well, Sean Connery's not dead, but Harrison Ford's still alive. I mean, that's why he's still alive. He did drink the water.
Huh?
Maybe
You
he's
should
still
drink the
alive.
water too, the holy water.
But where's that cup? We need to find that cup. We have to find that cup. I mean, a Hollywood prop.
Well, he was a carpenter, Jesus Cristo. He's a carpenter and he's your gardener.
Make sure we get the right Hollywood prop because you get the old one and you turn into an old guy.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. That would be awesome. Okay, so my circumcision. So back to my story. Just Jack. So, as you were saying, are you supposed to do this as a baby? Typically, yes, which they are too old. And then, Jewish, they have the bris. And so, anyways, it was like, okay, Luis did it. And I was like, well, I still feel very subconscious. Because I just see all these other dudes with their penises without the skin. And I would be like, but I have the skin. And it looks like a little turtle, a frightened turtle. Turtle. And so I was like, okay, what do I do? So we get to Saudi. And I wanted to do it still. And I regret doing it now. Because, not to get too personal, but it hurts. And it takes away some sensitivity. But yada, yada, yada. But, so anyways, I'm like, okay, I'm in Saudi. And I have it. And so I'm in 7th grade. And Paul, I cannot tell you the pain that it feels. As what are you in 7th grade? You're 12, 13? Well, Fifi's in 7th grade, right? So she's 13.
Right.
So yeah, you're 12, 13, and the pain is unbearable. And even when they knock you out. So first what they do is this nurse comes in and he shaves your pubic area, so it has to be clean. And then they, put all this anesthesia iodine and stuff around. And then they knock your ass out and then they put you under. And you are being cut open. They cut the skin around your penis, and it's the worst thing ever. And I woke up in pain for like days. Like I needed some hillbilly heroin, aka OxyContin, but it wasn't made at the time. It was so much pain. It was so painful. And now it looks all weird because it was done not as a baby, but as like a teenager, and so it looks like deformed. Like Quasimodo. It's basically my penis is Quasimodo at this point in time. My penis is Quasimodo.
I did not need to hear this story. You want to edit out my joke, but you left this in?
No, I want to edit out you breaking wind at the beginning of the podcast. Just like...
Didn't even hear that.
Oh, well, we could go back and hear it. It's on the tape.
This
is scientific, though. This is what the podcast is. It's science, and it's personal healing and trauma and everything else. And it's, Quasimodo is a hero. In theory, isn't everybody wants to be Quasimodo. Isn't he the hero?
I don't know.
You ever watched or read The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I had to read The Hunchback.
You being a good Catholic?
I seen the Disney cartoon, and I seen an old movie with Quasimodo.
Yeah, so he's the hero, right?
He saves Esmeralda in the Disney cartoon.
Isn't Esmeralda the one from?
She's the one that she's the hot chick that one dude he fantasizes about her and says if she I can't have her, then I'm gonna burn her. And it's a rated G cartoon. So
Bambi is G, and they kill a mother in the beginning, like opening scene, right?
Yeah, I had a English teacher. I told him about Disney being my hero, and he got upset because he said he watched Bambi when he was a kid, and he watched how
did he take you out back and beat you like a mule?
He didn't beat me like a mule, but he was visibly upset.
He was really? You're not joking. He's like shaking. Ah, you're killing me.
He didn't like me using Walt Disney. Of course, I compare what he says but he's more upset with me than I was with Kathleen Kennedy because
Wait, what Kennedy? You can't
Kathleen Kennedy, what she did to Star Wars. Now I was physically shaking, but I still am physically shaking.
But you don't know. Maybe he was physically shaking. You just couldn't see it.
No, it was physical. No, with Kathleen Kennedy.
Got Louis back.
But no, if you go onto YouTube and you look at all the videos, people have dedicated their lives to trashing Kathleen Kennedy. I just have this all. When I was in the hospital, they said. They actually quoted me as Kathleen Kennedy. They said, "I don't wish Kathleen Kennedy dead, but I wish she'd lose her job." And they quoted me in the book. In fact, I'm going to put it on my website. I'm going to scan their report, and they said the report in there. And in fact, They actually said on the report. They said in the report that there's one person that she got upset with me. She was a nurse.
But remember, Paul, hold on. Time out.
What?
Time out here. Remember what we talked about then when you got out of the hospital. What did your mom and I tell you? Words matter.
Words matter.
And hold on. Had you said that to me or your family member, we would know you're joking, or we'd know that you're not going to hurt Kathleen Kennedy or whatever her name is. But when you say that to a stranger, then they may be like, oh, shoot. And especially if you're in that situation of being a mental
I don't even know where Kathleen Kennedy lives. I don't know where she lives.
I'm not doubting that.
She probably has guards around her all the time.
Next door. It's PD.
She probably has guards around her all the time. She probably must have guards.
Sunbathing news next door.
Because people are coming out with new videos about her about every single second. They probably load it up every single second on YouTube. You know, they can load up. You know how many minutes they can load up on YouTube?
I know.
It's
Paul,
like hundreds of minutes a second.
All I'm saying is that words matter. So
words do matter.
I think that the person who wrote the report, I don't think it was. I know you.
I know the person who wrote the report. Her name was Schwartz. I remember her name. That was a mnemonic trick because Schwartz, same name as the guy who made the Peanuts.
That's Schultz. It's Howard Schultz.
Schultz, yes, Schultz.
That's H. There's a difference there.
Schultz. Well, yeah, I got Schultz. Yeah, Schultz. It was Schultz, not Schwartz. Schultz. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So she wrote the report.
No, I'm just saying that I can see somebody who does not know you. Like if you said that to me, it would go in one eye and out the other. But somebody who doesn't know you, who's in that situation, that's where you want to choose your words because they're going to say, "Oh shit, I got to write this down in the report."
Well, there was this.
They
one
don't know
nurse,
you're joking.
There was this one nurse. I was trying to be friendly with her. Maybe it's because my
dashing looks,
my Italian charm. You know, basically, you know, it was just
those eyes of yours.
It's just the Italian, this Italian, you know, background. My background, I'd be an Italian sort of like
fiery,
I mean, maybe you know, maybe
masculino.
I don't know, like just.
Did you walk around the ward with your shirt undone and your chest hair flowing like your Fabio in a Harlequin love novel?
No, I just
not Fabio, your ex-brother-in-law, but Fabio. Well, he never was technically your brother-in-law.
Anyway, what?
But did you walk around like with a fan, somebody blowing a fan on you and your hair waving and your chest hair out?
I said I was
pulsating with your fan breasts.
I was listening to a lot of 99.9, the radio station.
Yes. You said, what did you say about, and you know what I do now? I now listen to 99.9.
It saved my life at 99.9.
But no, I thought you also said that it's something that everybody can get behind because it plays so much music.
It has the music. The music, it just repeats itself. The same music over.
No, but I thought you said it's like music that everybody. It's not controversial. Everybody will like it.
Everyone likes the music.
Like a kid, like Fifi or Nina could listen to it.
Everyone likes this music. It's the 90s and the 80s, the 90s, and today. That's the
tagline.
That's the tagline. Yeah, 80s, 90s, and today. Yeah. So yeah.
But tell us though. You were telling me about you had the headphone, right, with the little battery.
Yeah, the battery. Yeah, I listened to that.
You were like Spaceman.
I listened to that in the radio, and plus I had my cell phone, and I told them, I said, you shouldn't give me the cell phone. If you gave me the cell phone. Now I can have the power.
I'm going to be beating off the Pornhub the entire day.
I had the power to destroy you.
Pornhub. I have the power of Pornhub.
Well, no, that's true. I couldn't go on to Pornhub.
But you were meant for bigger things than Pornhub.
No, I could buy apps on Pornhub again. I
should see if Pornhub is an app. I don't think they're allowed. I don't think Apple Store probably let them have one.
Well, there is this website.
There's a link.
There is this porn site I link to. I won't advertise it here.
Well, they're not a sponsor. That's why.